This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Psst, healthcare pros, word's out, and it's too good to keep quiet. Look, LinkedIn is revolutionizing job hunting, making it possible to search by specialty, shift preference, and salary. Endless scrolling is out. Whether it's a mental health therapist or dental hygienist, finding the perfect role is faster and easier than ever. Head to linkedin.com/healthcare and start your search today.
Well, hello. It is Stephen Rothberg. I am the president and founder of College Recruiter. We're a job search site. We believe that every student and recent graduate deserves a great career. I am the host of the High Volume Hiring podcast, which is usually every other Thursday. Last Thursday and about a week and a half from now. But we have a special episode today, a breaking news episode today. Last week, when I was spending too much of my time on LinkedIn, I noticed a great post from our guest today, reached out to him, and he graciously offered to join us, even though it is definitely dinner time in the UK where he is. So my guest is Radu Stoian of Enhanced Media. Radu, maybe you can, for the listeners, tell them like a little bit about who you are, a little bit about what Enhanced Media is, and then we're going to dive into the changes that you spotted on Google for Jobs and do like a little bit of a live demo of that.
Yeah, hi Stephen. Thanks for inviting me to your podcast. It's a great opportunity for me to be here. As you mentioned, my name is Radu Stoian. I work for Enhanced Media, a digital marketing agency offering helping employers to recruit online directly via their careers website. And we offer a complete range of services from building the careers websites with job search integration, with SEO, Google for Jobs, analytics, social media. We're doing research, videos, and whatever the employers need in order to hire effectively via their career site. And mainly, I am heavily hands-on invested in SEO and Google for Jobs. Sorry for.
Yeah, no, that's super helpful. When we were emailing before, it sounded to me like most of the clients of Enhanced Media are large employers. Is that correct?
Yes, we are based in the UK, and we have clients, large corporations like Virgin Media, Virgin Holidays, Virgin Atlantic, no longer Holidays, BT, Mod McDonald, and so on. So we work with large corporations, helping them to source directly via their career sites. And most of them are hiring in the UK, but we have clients also hiring globally.
Oh, awesome. So, the listeners to this podcast are definitely going to be those who are like talent acquisition professionals, sometimes vendors that support them doing that high volume. So it's great because what we're going to talk about now, and maybe you can share your screen and go to Google and we can dive right into it. This is really important for employers that have relied for, even if it's not most, but for a lot of their candidate flow coming from sites like Google and Bing.
Yes, definitely. And I think this is a new development with the rise of AI and ChatGPT. Everyone has heard of this, and Google is trying to integrate this into its search results. So it's something that is called the search generative experience that Google is launching. And if I share my screen, I'm going to show you a preview of how this looks like. Can you see my screen?
1 second. There it is. We are good. Perfect. Thanks, Radu.
That's good. So the new experience, this starts like previously, like just with a normal search box. And if you search Google Careers, for example, you're going to see by default this new feature at the top, which is the new functionality from powered by AI.
So let me, if I may, apologize for interrupting you almost before you got started. When you typed in Google Careers, that could also be a candidate typing in retail jobs near me or, warehouse jobs or something along those lines, right? This isn't limited just to careers with Google. It's any kind of jobs.
Yes, it works for any query, any search you might want to type.
Ah,
And as you
yeah.
can see, for some of them, there's not going to be an automatically generated answer. But if you search for questions like where can I work as a software engineer, so in this case, Google should automatically show this for you. I don't know why it's not showing you.
Well, they're rolling this stuff out,
Yes,
and
it
they're
is
te-
still.
and one thing about Google is they test, 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 test. So
Yes.
the research results you get are going to be different than the search results I get. Ah, perfect. Here we go.
Definitely. So this is an example of a query that for which Google is going to automatically generate a result. So is a software engineer a good job? And Google is
Mhm.
providing you the answer automatically here. And the what you can see alongside the answer, you can see some of the sources from where Google pulled some of that information. So if you click on this icon at the top, you're going to see
Ah,
how each line that Google is included in its answer was sourced from a particular web page or from a particular website. And then Google is going to provide you with additional follow-up questions, or you can ask for a follow-up. And when you click ask for a follow-up, you can type here which employers are hiring. So Google is going to remember that you asked about software engineering jobs. So it's going to provide a list of employers, we hope. So as you can see here, the answer, it says Google, Amazon, Apple, IBM, and so on. And also
so this
below,
is this is kind of like what I would call drilling down,
yes,
right? It's
yes,
like you've got your initial query, and now you're getting more and more specific. So this could be, where are there software engineers, and then where are there software engineers in London, and where are there software engineering jobs in, Northeast London.
yes,
Just the
yes.
candidate can get more and more specific.
So it is part of the conversational experience now. We enter the
Yeah.
conversational experience where Google is providing answers to follow-up questions, and but also most importantly, and that's the part that I think impressed you in my video. Most importantly is that Google is going to below these answers, they're going to continue to provide traditional search results, including ads, as you can see in this example, and including Google for Jobs. And you can expand to look at all the traditional search results that could be from Glassdoor, from Indeed, job boards, and so on. And the same with the Google for Jobs experience. So from this generative AI experience, you can actually jump straight back into Google for Jobs. And for example, in this case, I ended up for looking at a job from Walmart careers, and I can click apply, and I can go to apply to that particular job. And obviously, if I
And
click back, I'm going back to the experience. Yeah.
yeah, and so a couple things that really struck me from the video that you shared, and which this demo is very, very similar to, is that when the candidate went to that initial search and got the, is software engineering a good career or whatever,
Yeah.
it was the initial screen view. What the candidate saw was content, not job postings, but paragraphs of content. This is what software engineering is. This is why it's a good career, etc. The job postings get pushed pretty far down the page. So far more people are going to see that initial screen view about the careers, about where that content came from, blog articles, whatever. And then you get further down the page. That's where the job postings actually come. And then even further down would be links to your ATS.
Yes, definitely. So it does take I don't know, maybe 80% of the above the fold real estate that you see on a search results page. So it does occupy a lot of your screen. And in this case, this is a great example. It
Yeah.
actually provides even more, and you can expand it, and it takes the entire of your screen. And obviously, if you are an employer, or even if you are a job board, you want your content to be featured here. So you want Google to still come to your website to find that content and to feature it in its new generative AI results. As you can see here at the top, you have 5 examples, I think, of where Google sourced this data from. And only the last one is from Google Careers, but there are from other third-party websites as well.
Hi, I'm George LaRock, and I'm looking forward to exploring the critical trends shaping the future of work and technology with you over on the Work Tech podcast. Now, this podcast is a little different. I bring together industry leaders, innovators, and investors, and we go deep into market intelligence that matters to HR pros and tech providers alike. So give the Work Tech podcast a listen here on the Work Defined Podcast Network, and please subscribe if you like it. See you there.
So when Enhanced Media is talking to its clients, to its enterprise level clients, I would think this is a big part of the conversation. What are you telling employers that they need to do? Correct me if I'm wrong. They don't technically need to do anything to be part of this new experience, but to be eligible for it. But if they want to get traction, if they want to get a lot of traffic, a lot of good candidate traffic, what are some of the things that you're telling your employer clients to do?
Well, the most important thing is not to be scared of this new update, because eventually candidates will want to find their way to the employer's website in order to apply for a job. So this is called the transactional keywords that they're using. So not to be scared of this. Second of all is that you want to control the message that is being shown by Google in its generative search, in its generative response. And that means that content marketing strategies aimed at writing blog articles and FAQ pages that provide answers to candidates' questions, it continues to be extremely important, because then Google is going to pick that up and is going to use it as a source for the chat, for the generative text. And aside from that, Google for Jobs is becoming more important, because as you've seen, Google for Jobs is being featured within the conversational AI, and it's being featured quite high at the top, above any other websites that are being listed. So that's pretty much it. And the actual traffic itself doesn't matter as much. What matters is that you control the message that is being shown there. There might be some traffic that still reaches your website, but for the employer, they don't monetize that traffic. So for an employer, it doesn't matter if they lose some of the traffic for questions like, is software engineering a good job, or things like that. Exactly like when they lost some traffic when Google was offering the answer directly in its search results. For example, when someone was searching for the contact details for HR, for the HR team at Google, or things like that, or at an employer, you don't really care about that traffic. Or when candidates search for directions to your interview locations, for example, in that case, it's actually, you don't care for that traffic to reach your website, because it's of low quality. You want high quality traffic. And it might be that employers might get less traffic, but they might get higher quality because of this new experience.
That's awesome. So I'm really glad that you pointed out, not just with the demo, but what you just said, Radu, about blog content and other kinds of content like that continuing to be important. Because a couple months ago, when I started to see the early versions of this, the narrative that I thought was probably going to be correct, and I think a bunch of other people thought as well, was that the search results that we were going to see on Google, that above the fold, was going to look like Wikipedia, where you would have paragraphs and citation marks, a number one and number two, and then people would have to go down and read that, which I thought nobody's going to look at that. But the way that Google has created that user interface now, with those little squares or rectangles with the graphic and the little, the title of the article, that's going to be hugely important. I mean, I could see an employer who's looking for hiring software engineers to really double down on blog content about software engineering. So candidates that are somewhat passive and seeing what is it good to be a software engineer, there's your article. You're going to capture a lot of those candidates who are going to go to your site. They may never have known your brand at all. They're on your blog. It's like, wow, these guys really know what they're talking about. Now I want to apply. So I was a little bit worried that Google was basically going to take all of that traffic away and not send it out to job boards, to employers. But the more I see this, the more I think what they're doing here is they're going to reduce the amount of poorly converting traffic and greatly improve the well converting traffic. And like you say, none of us want poor quality traffic. Well, any closing words before we leave off?
Just, I think, don't be afraid of the change that is coming in Google search results, and it's not going to be the end of SEO. It's not going to be the end of careers websites, and definitely it's not going to be the end of content marketing.
Awesome. Radu, thank you so much. This has been super helpful.
Thank you for inviting me.